Hey, good morning, 10-minute timeouters. I'm Dr. Matt.
And I'm Dr. Amy.
And we are still married after that last episode, so that's a good thing. It was pretty awesome to see all of the comments and all the feedback that came from people. Probably the most common thing that people said was, it's just good to see that you're real.
Yes.
Right? Which is really part of our mission. Our mission is to literally be real. And to just help connect with people, get word out there, help people understand what we do as a family to try to be healthy, try to do things that just help us be the best version of us that we can be.
Yes.
And if you guys can glean any wisdom from that, add anything into your life, that's great. But one of the themes we're talking about today, we're going to talk about hyper-functional drinks, which is great ways to get nutrients into your family.
Yes.
And then we're also going to talk about not stressing out, the two of those things together. One of the most valuable lessons I think we learned early on was that it's so easy to get so caught up in tons of different crazy health-oriented stuff that you can actually stress yourself out, making yourself sicker by trying to be healthy because you're so stressed out, right?
For sure. There are times where I've literally said, okay, yeah, we can have like a big ice cream sundae day, and then I'm like watching the kids eat it, and it's like my stress levels are rising, and all I keep thinking is like the quantity of sugar that they're eating and all the artificial ingredients, and then I realize like I'm just destroying something that was meant to be fun by letting all the stress of trying to be healthy consume me. And so we just decided for ourselves that we have a principle that we are going to do an 80 to 90% where we're really clean eating, and then the other 10 to 20, depending on the week and depending on the season and holidays, we have fun.
Yeah.
And we don't
stress out about it.
We
right?
don't stress.
So
we
want
just
to have
enjoy.
fun. So last night, our son hit a milestone accomplishment, and he literally has been begging us to eat Tic Tacs. It's crazy, right? Those little tiny Tic Tac things. And so last night, I took him out and said, like, man, listen, you can buy 4 packs of Tic Tacs. He was so happy that he got to have 200 Tic Tacs, right?
Yes.
So he's working his way through those, but you know what? You just can't stress. Yes, they're full of gross chemicals, full of stuff like that, sure. But you know what? You gotta find a balance point in life. And so if the pizza's not raw, organic, vegan, grass-fed, cauliflower crust, all the rest of it, once in a while, it's okay, right? Don't freak out if you are not super duper,
Enjoy your pizza, and know that tomorrow it begins again, and you can eat healthy, and that one pizza isn't going to make you unhealthy, okay? One pizza, one cheat day, it's not going to be making you unhealthy. It's everything else that you do for the rest of your life.
Your kids aren't going to be bad. They're not going to go to jail if you give them candy one day. If they go out for Halloween and get their bag filled up, or they eat their Easter candy, they're not going to jail. They're not going to fail. They're not going to drop out of college, whatever it is. You know, it's finding that balance point, right? It's so crazy how you have to not care, but you have to care. You have to hit that tension between, not getting stressed out, but caring enough to do the right thing and trying to be able to balance and do all that sort of stuff. So we're happy to see, Dina, that you're going to order pizza tonight. Just don't do it every night. Just don't do it every night. That's the issue. So
you can be in on Saturday morning to work off that pizza. Right?
Yeah, that's right. So we want to do that. So people ask us a lot of times, how do we get nutrients into busy lives? How do we get nutrients into our kids? How do we do things that are going to help promote health? Mm-hmm. One of the ways that we do that is with what we call hyper-functional drinks, meaning, as people will say to me, like, oh, how do I get my kids to eat vegetables? Or how do I do that? It's a twofold answer. I mean, like, really, your kids just have to learn to eat vegetables. Like, sometimes your kids have to learn to respect authority and understand who the boss is, and you say it, and they just do it. But at the other hand, too, sometimes there's just good strategies to sneak it in there and get stuff done. So this morning, last week we talked about those acai bowls. This morning we made acai bowls for our kids for breakfast. Great way to sneak a cajillion little nutrients into there. So hyper-functional drinks are the same way. You can make smoothies for your kids. You can throw kale in there. You can throw all kinds of different supplements in there. They don't even know it. If you're trying to get probiotics into your kids, people say to me all the time at my office, my kids can't swallow vitamins. They can't swallow vitamins, right? So short of me saying, make them, right? We talk about how to sneak them in, right?
Absolutely.
And so you sneak them in through a smoothie or through a different strategy that way. So one of the things you ask me oftentimes at night is, hun, do you want to have a turmeric latte, right? So why don't you talk about that?
That's one of my favorites. I actually feel like I could make one right now. But turmeric has so many benefits for your body. Super anti-inflammatory, which is something we're always looking to do, is get rid of inflammation within our bodies, because it is a big culprit for a lot of the disease processes that go on. So turmeric latte is a great way to wind down the day and help your body kind of heal from everything that's going on and the toxins we're bombarded with. So you're literally you can do fresh pressed turmeric.
Yeah.
Okay. You can cut up, or you can use turmeric powder, which is easy and less stressful. So turmeric powder works just as well. Sometimes if I have fresh turmeric, I'll just cut off about an inch piece and throw it into the pot with the milk. But you can use the turmeric powder and you just put it in there with a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of honey. If you want a little spice in it, you could throw a little bit of cayenne pepper in it. There's so many ways that you can kind of ramp it up to make it work for you. I usually use coconut milk, and I use a little bit of like coconut milk from the carton.
So I brought a couple of different milk sources here. So sometimes when we make these things, we'll use almond milk. So almond milk will oftentimes be an option for us. Sometimes we'll use organic goat's milk. So that'll oftentimes be an option for us. And then recently we've really started to like some of the sheep's products, right? So this
really
is,
high in fat, which is awesome.
Yeah, so sheep's milk is also really awesome as far as that goes too.
You're gonna make the sheep noise when you do that?
Bah, bah. So it's really important that when you're making these drinks that you use a good milk source, getting some protein, getting some nutrient, all that sort of stuff. Fresh turmeric, it almost kind of looks like a ginger root almost, right?
It does, yes. Yeah. It looks like a darker ginger root until you cut it open and realize that your fingers are going to be yellow for the next 5 days. Yeah, but that's okay.
You can grate that in a really fine grater. You can feed it through a garlic press. You can do a bunch of different
Or
stuff.
you can be like me, who gets lazy and literally just cuts it into chunks and throws it in. And then I shove it through. Once it's all warmed up, I put it into the Vitamix blender, blend the whole thing up. And most of the time it's completely pulverized, but you could also run it through like a little sieve to kind of catch any of the...
little strainer.
Yeah, strainer. Yeah. But that's, that is the best way. I also like to throw the canned coconut in it. It makes it really fatty and rich, and it's delicious.
So the canned coconut milk.
Canned coconut milk. Yeah. But if you throw it in a blender, it'll blend it up and make it really frothy. So when you pour it in your cup, you'll feel like you're having like a nice luxurious latte that you just came away from a shop from.
So turmeric's super great for anti-inflammatory, which everybody in our world needs. We're all got tons and tons of inflammation going on. Turmeric's also known to be a sort of like a blocker of carcinogens in the body, so it's really like kind of like an anti-cancer thing. So like an old wives' tale about turmeric is that people who would use turmeric would offset the effects of smoking and tobacco chewing because it's like a carcinogen blocker. So there's so many carcinogens in our world that we want to be able to have something like turmeric that goes in there to help block that and do that. So really awesome drink. And it's great to be able to sit and have these things without going to Starbucks and getting, loaded up on all the sugars and all the rest of it. They came up with their new unicorn latte or frappuccino or whatever it was that's got like 900 grams of, grossness in it. And so just be really careful. We can still have these amazing treats and all those things and do it wisely, right?
Correct.
So another favorite of ours at night is a matcha tea latte. And so matcha tea is like a tea leaf that comes from Japan that for the last couple of months when it's growing, they shade it and it allows it to become really, really green, and they grind up the whole leaf and you get a ton of different nutrients in there, but it's super, super potent in antioxidants. It's super, super potent in terms of being able to get you a balance between some energy boost and not an overstimulation like just a straight caffeinated beverage. So matcha does have caffeine in it. It does. But it also does have an amino acid called theanine, which helps to moderate how that works in the body. So it's super different than the way that just straight up coffee would work in your body. You're just getting a jolt of Red Bull or whatever it might be. So in terms of that, a matcha tea latte is what we love to do. So you're literally just going to throw the kettle on, boil up the water, get it super hot.
That's our favorite one.
Yeah, so that's matcha ninja because we're trying to be ninjas. We like to be ninjas. And so we drink matcha ninja. It's the one, we love it because it mixes as a cold brew. You don't actually have to heat it up. It mixes super, super well. So you're just going to get a little whisk. You're going to heat up your water. You're going to whisk in that matcha tea, like less than a teaspoon you would use inside of there. You're going to whisk that all up, and then you're going to have some heated up milk. Again, your milk choices, almond milk, coconut milk, whatever you want for that. Sometimes we would just put in a smidge of honey just to be able to sweeten it up a little bit. That makes it super good. And then after that, boom, healthy beverage. I never worry about having that in the evening, like whereas I won't want to have coffee at night or something like that. Because
you can also add in things like coconut oil, okay, or cacao butter, which is really nice and makes it really extra creamy. All those things are great fats that again help your body process, you know, everything that you're taking in, and get some extra fat in there, which we're always looking to get rid of the sugar and add some
fats. Yeah, so if you look down in the comments, I'm going to put a link to just a link that you guys can hit to get the recipes for this. You don't have to worry about taking notes or worry about remembering it. We'll have recipes for 3 drinks, that turmeric tea latte, the matcha tea latte, and then a healthy way to try to get your coffee going in the morning. So coffee does have some benefits. It's got some B vitamins, it's got some antioxidant properties. When you look at different studies that are out there that look at coffee drinkers, you know, there's speculation that it can even help reduce the risk of things like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, obviously in moderation, right? Like, you know, you can't be so crazy addicted to something that you have to have it all the time. My adrenals hate coffee, but other parts of me like it. So don't forget that too much coffee is just going to drain your adrenal glands and it's going to ultimately, it's just going to drain the tank, right? But if you're going to have coffee, there's a healthier way to do it. So what we'll do is we'll take some coconut oils. This is a raw organic coconut oil.
This is my favorite one, the St. Francis one. I find has a really nice taste. It's smooth. It's got almost a little bit of a sweet taste. That's my thumbs up recommendation.
Yeah, and then we'll also add to that coconut oil a little bit of grass-fed butter. Yes, butter, right? So this is Rolling Meadows grass-fed butter. The key with butter is you want it to be grass-fed. So Kerrygold makes a grass-fed butter. Rolling Meadows makes a grass-fed butter. When it's grass-fed, it becomes much healthier for you. So you take a little bit of the coconut oil, a little bit of the butter. You've got your coffee. You add the coffee into a blender with the coconut oil and the butter, and then you blend it up. And the fat inside of there helps to protect the antioxidant properties of the coffee so that when you're drinking it, you're getting a maximum health effect.
And it makes it look like a frothy latte without even adding any milk or anything, which is great. You can also throw in some cacao butter into that as well. It's again another great source of fat and will give you that same bullet style coffee.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, those are just strategies for you, for your family, for everybody, just to help get more nutrients into you. Those hyper functional drinks that do a lot for your health in a short little burst, right? Great for busy lifestyles, for people to take, you know, you're running your kids out to an event, to an activity, and you're just, you know, looking to have something hot in a mug while you're sitting out there on the sidelines. That's an awesome option. It's great for your kids. Super good strategies for having tons of nutrient benefit in those beverages. To get those recipes, if you go to meetdrmatt.com/healthy drinks, and just go right to there. You can click on the link and you can get all 3 of those recipes in a PDF. Download them, have them on your phone, have them wherever, and then grab the ingredients and start to make them. You'll love them. Your wife, your spouse, your husband will love them. Your kids will enjoy them. It'll be great.
Yeah. The big thing too is I've seen that pop up a couple times. St. Francis and fresh turmeric you can find at Goodness Me. They carry both.
All right.
As far as anyone in the area.
If you live in this area.
If you live in this area.
Places like Whole Foods, places like Trader Joe's, some of those bigger national chains have awesome options for
you
that.
You can also Google any of the St. Francis products on Amazon and see if you can find them that way. That's a great way to get it as well.
Yeah. So bless you guys. Love you all. We will see you.
We're going to make our turmeric lattes.
Yeah. Do that, what she said. Okay. See you guys. Bye.